All right, we have another recent example of Owen Benjamin being handled in real time, live on the air. I noticed that Christopher Gardner was the guest on his podcast 2 days ago, on Election Day, actually. And this part of it, let's see, I skipped a bunch of this, but we're at 2:18 roughly, 2 hours 18 minutes. And they started talking about the zombie star that I noticed in the news a little while ago. This thing they're saying is a star that was dead and is going to suck power from somewhere else and come back to life. And I figured it was part of the narrative somehow, probably for the bridge spell, the Chicken Little Sky is falling, star coming back from the dead, Jesus narrative, Antichrist narrative, some breaking the seals, whatever. But then they start talking about Starlink, and Owen's talking about Santa's sleigh, and there's something about this that Gardner does not want him to say. Watch the signaling. Oh, I better turn the speed down. All right, here we go.
I'm like, just anytime you can, go outside and actually appreciate it. And you'll see, like, the more you appreciate the sky and the more you're actually looking at it, it will be interactive with you. It likes to interact.
Yeah, when I looked at the Starlink, to me, it always reminded, I just put an image on here of Santa's sleigh.
He's getting
so there's an
uncomfortable,
archetype,
right?
And it's like, where did that come from? Oh, how dare you, St. Nicholas, whatever. It's odd to say that they're perfectly spaced reindeer going in a string across the sky. Like, that comes from somewhere. I've never seen it in my life until Starlink came out.
Here comes the mouth singling.
I use Starlink. It works great. So there's definitely a thing called Starlink that gives you internet. But the thing in the sky, that's the jump. That's when you're like, oh, it's star. And then the truther jump is, well, it's not satellites, because I've seen it turn, and satellites aren't as described. Maybe it's drones, maybe it's balloons.
All right, that's about all of the signaling that he does, and I guess I'll stop it now in case there's a copyright thing on it or whatever. But there you go. There's another instance of Gardner telling Owen to stop talking about how Starlink is similar to Santa's reindeer. So there we go. Maybe there's something with Starlink coming for Christmas time. But just so you can see, if you have eyes, that was definitely a signal of Owen being handled. Now, what does it mean? I don't know exactly what it means. However, for people who are claiming that he's not part of it, well, do you have eyes to see? All right, I love you. Bye-bye.